Something that I don't know if it's my favorite or not. Project B.
Mm. Mm.
I have mixed feelings. What do you know, or do you just want me to kind of run through what we know so far about Project B and then we can talk about it from there?
Yeah, I need you to run through it because I only know what I've read on social
Right,
media.
bits and pieces. It's
Yeah.
coming
So I
in
don't
bits
know a
and
whole
pieces.
lot. And
Okay.
so therefore, I'm not really sure how I feel.
Okay, great. Well,
I
let's
need
figure
more
it out
info.
together.
Okay.
Let's figure it out. So, what we know is that Project B is a new global 5-on-5 women's league that's launching in November 2026 through April 2027. It'll be across Europe and Asia and maybe Latin America. It's global, global. It'll be 6 teams with 11 players on each team. So 66 total players. It's built in 7 2-week tournaments rather than a traditional schedule. So I listened to the great interview with Sarah Spain, her podcast, Good Game. She had Alana Beard on, who is the chief basketball officer, WNBA champion. You know Alana Beard.
Mm-hmm.
And she talked about how it's like the F1 style, or she even um, pegged it to like tennis, professional tennis. So, like the US Open and Wimbledon, you go to these places that are around the world. It's a tournament, they're there for a limited amount of time. And it is both men and women because they are expecting to launch with both in next November. And you're gathering points throughout these tournaments, and then there will be a team winner at the end of the season. So that's kind of the structure of it. Okay. It's founded by tech execs, ex Facebook, ex Skype. These are founders in the tech space who are just using this and venture capital to build all this money, having this idea, and trying to take it global. The players who are signing up, it's rumored that they are getting much bigger salaries. Some have reported up to 2 million. Alana Beard did not confirm or deny that. They also get equity in this league, so they, as the league grows, their pockets grow. And that's what we know. We also know that Nneka Ogwumike has signed up, Alyssa Thomas, Jonquel Jones, Jewel Lloyd, Camila Cardoso, Kelsey Mitchell, Sophie Cunningham. A lot of names have come out recently that have attached their name to this, and they are expected to play. They are kind of rolling out names little by little to kind of build this momentum around this league. That's what we know. That's what we know so far. How you feel?
I still don't know how I feel.
That's fair. There's a lot we still don't know,
um,
and they're kind of waiting because it's a year out. I guess they're not wanting to spill it all now. So I'll say
yeah, I
that.
just like no, I think you explained that like incredibly well. I'm still just like other than the money, right? Like the rumored salary. And don't
Mhm.
get me wrong, if I was playing and they call me, I'd be like, "Yep, sign me up."
Yes, I mean, I think that's what everyone's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I'm still trying to like wrap my head around just what does this look like? And I know
Mhm.
you just said you get points and at the end there'll be a team winner and then like is there a bonus? Like I don't know. I'm just curious. I'm curious to see how this will work.
Mhm.
Um I'm sure the WNBA is like, damn, we got another league that we need to worry about.
Yes.
We thought it was just Unrival, and now here we go with this Project B thing.
Yeah,
Um, I think what has been very interesting to me though, like when NECA was the first player signed, I was like, okay, what is this thing? Let me go check it out.
for sure.
And then as I see other players that have committed to play and they've signed, I'm just like, Interesting. That's
It
that's how I felt with the release of some of the players. I'm curious to see what other players
Mhm.
will sign to play in this league. And so here's a question I have for you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because I think I read somewhere that I don't know, are they playing in like Abu Dhabi?
Yeah,
Um,
okay, so that's a good thing to bring up. So,
yeah.
Saudi Arabia has been attached to this because it was rumored or falsely reported, because Atlanta Beard, again, on the Good Game podcast, said it
Hmm.
straight, that they are not receiving any Saudi money
Right.
for
Right.
this, because I think that was a huge a thing against it,
Yep.
was that, you know, we've seen that in other leagues. We've seen that in golf, and how it's just like we're going to throw a bunch of money at these players and we're just going to take them away from their typical things in the States. But that's not the case here. She said that there is a company that they have hired to put on the events in each city, and that company has some ties to Saudi, but there is no Saudi money going directly to the players. I guess that's what
Mm.
she set the record straight on. She said it was very interesting that that's what people kind of cling to, and that's what people have been running with. But that's been the biggest knock against them so far. And when you realize that that's not even a real thing, now you have to really figure out if you like it or want to agree with it or want to root for it for what it is. Yeah.
Mm.
I will
So,
say this. I have a question for you,
mhm.
because I actually didn't think that this necessarily rivaled the W. I think that it could be in long term, if it turns out to be true and there people are getting, every player is getting 2 million.
Mhm.
This is what it's working out, then yeah, I'll take the summer off and not play in the W. I'll just do this.
Mhm.
But the last couple years there have been more push to play basketball in the States, because players didn't want to have to go play overseas. They didn't want to have to do the international part of an off season. So I think it's very interesting that that is like their whole model is like, we want to take the game global. We want global superstars. We want it to be around the world. When you have things like Unrivaled and Athletes Unlimited saying, stay home. It's good that you don't have to go around the world. You don't have to be global. So I feel like those things are contradicting each other. And I don't know what I guess my question is, which way do you think players most likely would turn to? Okay, global. Okay, yeah, I got to go back overseas, or no, I'm good. I'll just stay home and stay in Miami.
Well, so here that's a good question. So here's I also think it's a difference in this model, right? Because it's not like you're just going to be in one country for 8 months.
Okay, yeah.
You're traveling to different countries, and I don't know all the countries or cities, but I think that makes a difference. But I'm also going to say this. When I look at the list of players that have signed so far, a lot of these players on this list, to my knowledge, I could be wrong, um, they don't really have a lot of, like, endorsement deals,
Mm,
and there's a reason why I'm bringing that up, because I think for a lot for the players who like the Asia Wilsons, the Caitlin Clarks, the Angel Reeses,
mhm,
the Sabrina Ionescu, and I know they're gonna announce more players, and maybe those could be some of the players.
mhm,
Those players are making an amazing, incredible living off the court
mhm,
with their endorsements. And I do think it helps that they're playing here in the W, right? Because the game is growing, the league is growing, brands are watching, people are paying attention. They're like, "Oh, I want her. I need her. I need her. I need her." And
Yeah.
so when you have them playing here in the States and they're playing in the W and all these eyes are on them, it just opens up more doors for more opportunity. Not to say that those players wouldn't or couldn't play in Project B, but I think that makes a big difference. And so for the players that I see that have decided to play in Project B right now, I think for them it's about, yes, it's basketball, but they see an opportunity to go and make some money, Jordan, that they may never make playing in the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't you do it? And a great example, Nneka Agumake is still balling at whatever age she is, but she's still balling. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, Nneka, go get your bag.
For
So if
sure.
you have somebody that's saying, Nneka, we want you and we're going to pay you $2 million, hell, I don't care. We're going to pay you $1 million. Why wouldn't you take that
Yeah.
opportunity to go and make some money and put yourself in a really, really, really good situation financially?
Mm-hmm. And honestly, when I saw NECA be the first person to sign up, I think that was beautifully, a great strategy to have her name attached first
Oh, for
because
sure.
I trust NECA. So I was like, oh, if NECA's doing it, then that means it is legit or she
That
vetted
was
it,
my first thought. My
That
first thought was, "Oh, I don't even know what this is, but it's legit because NECA's a part of it."
and that
Right?
is what they wanted people to think. And I
I
immediately thought that.
I do question or wonder. We know we gotta get through this whole CBA negotiations, right?
Mhm,
And
mhm,
figure all that out. But I do wonder if there will come a point in time, depending on how this Project B thing works and where we end up with CBA negotiations, if players will be left to make a choice,
mhm.
right? Nah, I'm good. I'm going to take my summers off because
Yeah.
who doesn't want to take summers off? And I know I can go play in Project B 6, 7 months out of the year and make more money doing that than I'm going to make in the W. That is the part where I'm like, this could get very, very, very interesting. And then, you know what also gives this credibility? I don't care where the money's coming from, Saudi, whoever, I don't care. I know Elena said it's not. But what gives it credibility to me, besides NECA signing and the other players, that Elena Beard is chief basketball officer.
For sure. Yeah. She's legit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I took comfort in her saying in that interview that she spent 15 years in the WNBA. She owes everything to the W. She does not want to dismantle the WNBA. Like she wants it to work together. But at the same time, I hear her saying that, and I know she's not coming in saying we're the new WNBA. But at the same time, like you said, players are going to have to make that choice because
Mhm.
when I see that it's going from November to April, and even if they keep it how it is, training camp is in April. So now you are playing every single, every month is accounted for your if you are a top WNBA player, even if you are NECA. You go from November 2026 to April 2027. Training camp starts mid-April. Then if you're lucky and you're going to the playoffs, you are going until October,
Yeah.
November. Then you start again. Project B season 2. What? That sounds
But excuse
insane.
me, but that's the way it currently is. But
True.
if the league gets what they want in the CBA and starts the season in March,
Right.
how does that work with Project B in the WNBA?
It doesn't because that's what that prioritization rule is. So what it's in the current CBA is that you have to prioritize the WNBA. That's what it's there for. So you have to report to training camp and you cannot be playing anything else. And so
So that's
Athletes
not an
Unlimited,
excused absence.
that is not an excuse absence. No. Your letter from Project B, your note excusing you would be denied. It would be denied. And your salary would be
Wow.
reduced. But that's what Sheryl, if you're making 2 million with Project B, are
Yeah.
you saying I don't care, reduce
No.
my salary?
No.
I've made up for what I'm going to miss in
Mhm.
that month. Whoo!
And
It's a
and
lot.
you're probably, I don't know, you're probably getting some type of bonus playing in Project B if you win it all, or, you know?
Yeah.
Whoo,
I
child, can I come out of retirement? Just sign me up for 1 year. Let me go do Project B for 1 year.
do
Jeez.
it.
Girl, bye. I'm going to work out.
Hey,
I'm going to work out.
you could just just be in the short corner. Just say, "I'm
Let me
here,
go back old school. I'm gonna play one end. I'm gonna
one
play the
in."
offensive end in the corner. Give me the rock.
Here. You could
I
just be
ain't
hitting bank shots.
That's
Just
it.
the bank
That's
shots.
it. I ain't running up and down. I ain't playing no defense. Nope.
I I think you might get a
Wow.
couple people out of
Wow.
retirement. I think that I mean, that would be
Girl.
exciting. I think there's going to be tiers. This is my thought, my last thought. I think there's
Mhm.
going to be a certain type of player that's going to do Project B, and I think you are spot on. These are top talent, but maybe don't have the same endorsement deals, the same freedom to pick up a commercial here or there,
Mhm.
that can do this. And then there's another type of top talent that is doing Unrivaled that maybe doesn't want to deal with the overseas part. They
Yeah.
just want to
Yeah.
stay in Miami. And they also just want to kind of do it part-time. Like Sabrina was at Unrivaled last season, but wasn't really there the whole time because she was out
No.
promoting her new shoe. You know, like
Yes.
it's a way to jump in. And then there's a group that's in Athletes Unlimited that is, you know, maybe fresh off a rookie contract or
Yep.
like still not wanting to go play overseas. Maybe you already played overseas from October to
Yep.
February. Now here's another way to just get your confidence up with WNBA level talent. And then you're going to play in Athletes Unlimited. I love that players have options and that the only option is not Russia or China or Turkey.
Agreed.
You
Agreed.
have options. And I love that.
And
I
they're
think
really, really good options.
really good options that are that have money attached to it. So I love
Mhm.
that for the players. But
Mhm.
like you said, we are going to come to a head at some point where, you know, a quick little hoop root segment, Diana Taurasi was paid a lot of money to
Oh,
sit
paid,
out
paid. Yep.
the WNBA season in the early 2000s. They
Yep.
said, we don't want you to get hurt in the WNBA so you can come back overseas and win us another championship. So we're going to pay you more than your WNBA salary to sit out. And that is something that the WNBA has always been fearful of. And I think that this is one of those things that could rival that. So
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. I'm curious to see what happens with the whole CBA situation, but I'm
that would
also
be,
curious to
yeah,
see what happens with Project B.
we, man.
It's a good problem to have. We got options.
We got
We got
options. We got
options.
options.